AI doesn't lie like a person. It gives you plausibility, and plausibility is even more dangerous because everybody by now knows that AI can be able to build just about anything. Now, today I'm going to talk about research, and researches can be done virtually by anybody at this particular time. We are gone are the days whereby you used to hire expert researchers to do certain researches on a specific topics in specific environments because of their expertise. Now AI has that brought to you just in the palm of your hands. Using your phone, you are able to do a deep research using apps like ChatGPT. You can use it, do deep research. You can use the other one called Perplexity, which is also giving you references. Now this is where the challenge comes in. AI tools are there to give you plausible, not actually factual, unless you be specific and prompt it to give you actual data with verifiable sources, then it can be able to give you those results. So if you just give it a prompt that is vague, give me a research about malaria cases in Africa, without actually giving, a prompt to fetch you data from actual publication, from medical, researches or other kind of data available, then it's just going to give you a plausible answer. And AI doesn't lie like a person. It gives you plausibility, and plausibility is even more dangerous because you can imagine quoting, it will give you like 90% of malaria cases are caused between this and this. It's very plausible, but it's not actually factual. So for you to make it factual, you need to actually ensure that you've quoted sources that have done that kind of a research on the ground. Without that missing, then you are actually going to be giving out misleading information. And this is where you need to tread very carefully. Prompting helps you to get rid of such kind of misinformation when you're doing research using AI. I remember myself, I did AI research many times, multiple times. I've used AI to do research on certain topics that I wouldn't want to talk about here openly, yeah. But it's very interesting that when you start using AI to do researches for you, you will end up with this kind of vague numbers unless you question it, like where are you getting these numbers from, Perplexity was very interesting because it gives you those citations. At the end of the each result, you see there is some links or bookmarks, but there is also hallucination. AI does hallucinate a lot. It will give you something just because you asked, and it has to give you anything, it has to give you an answer that is logically sounding like it's, giving you a feedback from whatever you asked it. The more you give it information, the better you train it to actually advance and ensure that its skills are upgraded to give you some of the best information that you're looking for. So when you're using AI to do this, you need to check, ask AI itself, how confident is it with the information that is giving you? Which ones could be wrong? Also, is it, it usually admits, if there is some information that is not correct, it will just admit it. Apologies, this information is not verifiable at the moment. It will give you those kind of information. It will admit, doesn't lie. Another thing is that find primary sources. Ask it to find primary sources on those particular topics that you're actually raising. If it can't find any sources that it came from, just know that this is plausibility. It is just not realistic information. It is not verifiable. It is not factual. Also, if AI gives you sources, then click those sources. If those sources do not open those links, then you are sure that you hit a rock there. You never actually got the actual result that you're looking for. So research can be done 100% using AI tools. You can sit here and do research from a country that you've never visited, you never even have intentions of going to, right? Also, the honest way is that AI is good at organizing and summarizing. It's not a tool that will be able to give you facts. It's not good at generating facts by itself unless you actually ask it. You need to use it to build a skeleton that you're able to build upon to ensure that at least 80% of the work that you've done is actually coming from you. So it is just going to work on the 20% skeleton, the framework, how the template will look like, how the organization or summary is going to be looking like. Don't expect AI just, by you giving one prompt, then it's going to generate people talk about cloud as if cloud is everything. Yes, it's everything you need to have an assistant close to you. So it's there to help you, not to do everything for you. It's there to help you deliver on the results that you're looking for. It's there to help you ensure that you get the best out of it. It's there to help you organize the structure. You might be thinking about writing, for example, a research paper on certain, behavioral activities around, your community. Nobody has ever done that research and it's so expensive to do a research, by the way. It's very expensive. The methodologies of carrying out a research, ground interventions, going to ask people questions with those surveys, those things, it's very, very expensive and time consuming. So if you get information that has already been done by other institutions or organizations as first-hand information, then you're able to actually, cut the cost at least halfway. Then you are able to do your research better and publish it out there. When you're approaching AI to do your research, you need to be very, very cautious on the sources of information that you're getting. You need to also understand that prompting vaguely will give you vague answer. You need to understand that AI doesn't give you factual information unless you asked it. If you never asked it, it will give you anything that comes in. And then it will sound so convincing. You will be able to, like, next time you go to a meeting, you say, 90% of malaria causes are caused from cholera. Or it sounds so stupid anyway. Just to learn more about these AI tools, ensure to subscribe, stay with us. Every time we post new videos, we try to learn new skills on how to be careful, be safe, be careful on how to be able to understand using these tools for better productivity, new businesses, in your academics, in your work environments. Just basically to build yourselves, your skills. Right now is the best time to learn AI. And if you've not started yet, start by subscribing over here. See you in the next one.